And now we will see how to find matrix inverse. So we will see finding out matrix inverse numerically. Okay. Now, for example, you see, I would like to take a matrix inverse. I have a matrix. Let me zoom in this. So let me take a matrix, say A, and I would like to find its inverse. Say A multiplied by A inverse is equal to what here? Can I say A inverse times A? Yeah, this must be equal to what? Identity matrix. Okay. So if this is possible, now can we find this inverse? Can we find this inverse numerically? This is the challenge. Finding out matrix inverse numerically. See, you can write down one very important point. Please write down the inverse. Everyone, please write down. The inverse can be computed. The inverse can be computed in a column by column. In a column by column fashion by generating solution by generating solution with unit vectors as the right hand side as the right hand side constants. You can hear me. Our ultimate goal is we need to find inverse of a matrix by numerical means. So that can be computed in a column by column fashion by generating solution with unit vectors as the right hand side constant. See, it may be embarrassing or it may be awkward in the initial run, but means just to unlock this statement, but it is quite simple to understand. For example, we have one system, right? You have one system and we formed its matrix form like Ax equal to B. What is that A we have there? Okay, I'll give you one question like, for example, see, employ, I would select this, employ LU decomposition, employ LU decomposition to determine the matrix inverse, to determine the matrix inverse. Okay, for the system, I have one system. What is that? Can anyone tell me that system, please? We have one coefficient matrix A, starting with element 3.
Minus 0.1.
Okay, 3 minus 0.1.
Minus 0.2.
Minus 0.2. 0.1. 7.
Minus 0.3.
Minus 0.3.
Plus 0.3.
Okay, 0.3.
Minus 0.2.
Minus 0.2, I think positive 10, right? So this is a coefficient matrix you have. Now, okay, you know how to decompose a coefficient matrix or any matrix in the form of lower and upper triangular matrices. Now, readily we have this lower triangular matrix. So what is the L matrix of this? Yes? The L matrix, I remember. Okay, one second, I will take another color. L matrix is what? 1, 0.0333 and so on. Okay, and what do you have? You have a 0.3,
0.1.
0.1, right?
This is 0.1.
Okay, this is 0.1. Second column is what? I think
0, 1,
0, 1,
minus 0.027,
minus
13,
0.027.
13.
Okay, 1, 3.
Yes, sir.
Okay, say 1, 3,
0,
0, 0. And what is the last column you have? Of
0,
course,
0,
0, 0, 1.
1.
So I have this L matrix ready. I know this because already we found this. We need not take again other example to decompose again into L and U form. Already we have this, we'll make use of that, okay? And then we'll go for now U matrix. Which color I can take? The only color which is good is white and yellow. Remaining colors not supportive. Okay. So I have U matrix, and in U, what do you have for U? First column is 3, 0, 0, and second column is what?
minus 0.1,
Minus 0.1. Okay.
7.00330.
Okay. Double three. Okay, something. This is roughly okay. And again, what do you have? I think you must have 0 here. And last column you have negative 0.2, negative 0.29, say so on 3, and you have 10, 10 point what?
0120.
Okay, 0, 1, 2, 0. Okay, so you have like this. Now you know what I can do. I can do something this way. See, for example, you have like Ax equal to B. This color is very dull. I'll use this. You have this Ax equal to B. Now I don't want the B. Now my ultimate goal is what? My ultimate goal is I don't want to find Mr. X. I want to find what? Inverse of coefficient matrix numerically. That's it. That's what I want to find. So for that, I'm using LU decomposition technique. And this one, I can write it down as L U X equal to B. Okay. Now what we know from this is, what I know from Lux equal to B, from that, I know this fact. So I can say, let Ux equal to some G, okay? Then on top of this, you have Lz is equal to B. All right. So you have this strategy already, you have this, but you don't really use everything here. Now instead of this B, whatever you have, we will take the right hand side constant. See, the inverse can be computed in a column by column fashion by generating solution with unit vectors as the right hand side constant. See, what is the unit? So for example, I have like this 1, 0, 0. Is this a unit vector here? It is a unit vector. For example, I would say 0, 0, 1. This is also a unit vector. That means in a column or row, if you have single 1 and remaining elements at 0, that could be a unit vector. So now, for example, I have a matrix A whose size is 3 by 3. Now, if I find inverse, what must be my size now? Again, same 3 by 3. Now, our goal is this. Now, we will first of all find the first column of this inverse, okay? And again, we'll find second column. Finally, we go for third column. Now, in doing so, what we have to do is we have to make use of these two quantities like Lz equal to and Ex equal to, and we don't take any of this B. We don't want information of B here because we are finding only inverse of the coefficient matrix. Okay. Now Instead of cutting this, now what I will do here, I will start taking the right hand side unit vectors. So whatever you have here, I will start taking the right hand side unit vectors like this. Now for example, you take identity matrix, a 3 by 3. What do you have now? You have diagonal ones, okay, and rest of the stuff is 0. Now what I will do to find the first column of your matrix inverse on the right hand side, for this LZ, I will try to use 1 0 0. This is my unit vector. Are you able to understand this? Yeah. So now what I will do, again I state my L. Okay. So I'll take my L. This is my L. The problem is here I'm not finding any copy option. Now LZ, you can write like this: to determine the first column of matrix inverse. First column of matrix inverse, you should undergo a step like this: LZ is equal to 1 0 0. Okay. I want to find the first column of matrix inverse. Then I will go for LZ equal to 1 double. See, this is my unit vector on the right hand side. That's what the statement is all about. Okay. Now I know my L. My L is, again I must write 0 0.033, and this is 0 0.101 minus 0 0.027 1300 001. So L is this. Now I'll take my Z. So I'll take say Z1, Z2, Z3 equal to 1 0 0. Now what do? You try to find out Z1, Z2, Z3, that's it. You try to find out Z1, Z2, Z3, and then you have to plug where? You have to plug that in Ux equal to Z. Then you try to find out X from this. If you do so, you must get the first column of matrix inverse. That's it. You can tell this to your computer, and you have to code it so that your computer will take care of. Maybe manually it may take some decent time, but in a computer program it is very simple. Okay, but you have to make it as an algorithm. Okay, now I can find out Z1. What is Z1 here? Yeah, Z1 equal to 1. And what about G2? Okay, minus 0.0333. And my G3 is minus 0. I'm taking approximate values. Okay, I'm taking all approximate values, minus 0.1009. Did you get like that? Now, having known this, now I'll try to use this astra, that is Ux equal to Z. Okay, I often spell Z as G. Okay, so please adjust. Now, what is my U here? Can I scroll up? Can I scroll up this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Ux equal to Z. And again, you must tell me what is my U now. What is U? Okay, 300. Okay, 7.00. Okay, this is 0 minus 0.2. Okay, minus 0.29333. Okay, 10 point, thank you, 10.0120. So this is my U. So once I know this U, I'll find You don't worry about any chain brackets here. You can take any bracket. Yeah, there is no speciality with this chain bracket. Generally, I'm taking a right-hand constant unit vectors, so I just denoted that in chain brackets. It's not required, it's not mandatory. Now you tell me, what do I do? What is my Z here? So you obtained Z this one, okay? Z1 equal to 1, and this is minus 0.03333, and then you have negative 0.1009. Now what do? You employ backward substitution. You find out x3, x2, x1, that's it. So what is x3? Okay. If you solve this, you must get 0.33249. Did you get like this? 0.33249, and x2 is equal to negative 0.00518. And what about x3? Okay, minus 0.0100. Okay, 77. I will take some 78. Okay, leave it. You will get so many right after that. So I'll take some 7, 8, or whatever you want. You can take 8. 8 also you can take approximately. Okay. So you know what is this? Now you go up all the way. Now you have to replace this, that x1, x2, x3 in the very first column here. That's it. Okay, so now we found out A inverse. Yeah, it's looking somewhat tedious. It's looking like it's going to take some more steps, but you can trust me. This is the efficient method. You know why? Because I can keep change the right hand side vectors, like ax equal to whatever the right. See, the one of the big strengths of LU decomposition method is what, the right hand side vectors we can keep change for the same system. You can apply same computational steps and you can get the answer. Okay, anyways, you'll understand these things when we do its coding. Okay, don't worry. So now the very first column of A inverse is 0.33249 minus 0.00518 minus 0.0100, say, okay, 78, whatever. The first column I got 0, and remaining columns I'll take it as 0 for now. Now what I'll do after this, now you determine what? Determine second column, of A inverse. This is your job now. Can you do this? Now what you must do again? Again take this. What you have here? You have Lx or Ux. Lz. So Lz is equal to, you have now, you have to take what? 0, 1, 0. That's it. From the identity matrix, you take second column. On the right hand side of Lz, you put 0, 1, 0. Now again, same kahani. Now again, you have to go for Ux equal to Z. You find Z from this, you plug in there in Ux equal to Z. You find out X, then that will give you second column of A inverse. Okay, I will do this second column of A inverse, third column. Please you do. Meanwhile, you please do. Don't wait on me. You please do meanwhile. Okay. So my first step is this. L, okay, I'll take anything, no problem. Lz is equal to 0, 1, 0, C. I'm finding second column of K inverse, so you must take 1 in the second row on the right hand side as unit vector, okay? So now what you get? L already you have, right? You take same L, whatever L you have, L matrix, the 3 by 3 matrix, whatever you have, you take that. We need not write that again and again, like Z1, Z2, Z3. So you must put here 0, 1, 0. Okay? And if you see, you must get Z1 equal to what? You must get 0, right? Z1 must be 0 and Z2 is 1. Is Z2 1? And Z3 must be what? 0 point, you must get positive, okay? 0.02713. Did you get the same? Then you substitute Z1, Z2, Z3. Where do you do this? In U x equal to Z. So substitute here Ex equal to Z. All right. So you know my U again, right? You know what is your U? It's needless to write it again and again, okay? So I know my U. My U is a 3 by 3 stuff. I know that. You have something like 300 and something else you have something else, okay? And multiplied by x1, x2, x3. Now you plug in this z values, okay? That's it. So now you employ backward substitution. Find out x3, x2 followed by x1. Okay. Now if you do this, you must get x1 is equal to 0.0044944. X2 is equal to 0.142903, and whatever x3 you obtained, I'm taking all approximate values 2701. Did you get like this approximately? I'm taking all approximate values. Now what do? You plug in that here. Okay? That means now you replace this second column in A inverse by 0.0, I mean whatever you obtained. I mean we obtained this one, right? So this is what now? Second column of A inverse. Are you able to understand this? Can I go for third column of A inverse?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We will not do again and again. I mean, we don't require this L and U again and again. If you understand the concept, it's enough. Third column of A inverse. So now what you do here, you have L matrix, your known matrix, you have your G, I mean, G need to be found. And what must be on the right hand side?
001.
Yeah, very good. So 001. So this must be 1. So 001 must be on the right hand side. Now again, same story. Please do that. You can do it. You need not wait on me. You can proceed. Now you substitute L here. Lz equal to this. Now once you have this, now again, I know this U matrix. Now I need to find this unknown X, and this must be this stuff. This must be, I mean, this one here, like whatever we are going to find, sorry. So Ux equal to that. So could you tell me what answer going to get? See, I'll give the final answer and please verify whether or not this answer validates, okay? So this also we can do in MATLAB. MATLAB is very easy language. What is the very first column you have? 0.33249, and second one is minus 0.00518, And third one is what? Minus 0.01008. And this second column you got 0.004940, 0.142903, 0.00271, and 0.006798. The third one, okay, 0.004183. Okay, and this is 0.09988. Okay, approximately double eight or double three, whatever. This is what A inverse you will get. What is there if you take your calculator, your calcs, you'll get the answer right. But in offline examination, you have to show the method in finding out inverse of a matrix. And you'll be given, at max, you'll be given a 3 by 3 matrix, okay? Never 4 by 4, because they know the only thing is one should know the method, approach, okay? If it is 3 by 3, 4 by 4, doesn't matter. Approach is important, and they'll check that. Now you can check the validity with what? The validity of the result can be checked by, yes, anyone?
Multiplying with A and
Very good.
we
So
get
you must
identity.
do this. A multiplied by A inverse. And you must get identity matrix. That's it. You can check this validity this way. Okay. And that's it here. So with this, now also you know how to find inverse of a matrix by numerical means. Yeah. So in this case, numerical mean means you decompose your coefficient matrix into L and U. That is, of course, as a part of numerical means. And also, you have introduced on the right hand side unit column vectors. Okay, starting from the very first column of identity matrix all the way to last column of I matrix. You equated both and you obtain the result. Okay, so this you must be able to, of course, code it. Anyways, the last method is this is, I think this is not required to explain because I think already know these things. Do you know about Gauss-Jordan method here? Gauss-Jordan method. And you have little bit error analysis as the last topic of unit number 2. So with this we have covered 90%, say 95% of unit number 2. Gauss-Jordan. Anyone? See, this Gauss-Jordan method can surpass or can outperform Gauss elimination method in many ways. You know, the beauty of this method is what, you know, for example, you have a system of equations, okay? You have some system of equations. Say I have some 3 equations, 3 linear equations, the system. Now what I'll do here is, anyways, we will represent this in the matrix form, right? So you have like Ax equal to B. We represent this, we know this very well. Now in elimination method, what we have done, we converted this coefficient matrix to what? Upper triangular matrix. But in Gauss-Jordan method, you have to convert this to diagonal matrix. That's the only goal. You convert this to diagonal matrix. When you have a diagonal matrix, what benefit you have here? I need not go for again backward substitution, all these things. Yes or no? When you have diagonal matrix, you can find out answers directly. All right?
Yes, sir.
That's it. And that's the beauty of Gauss-Jordan method. So therefore, first we have elimination method, then this method came into existence to, you know, alleviate the problem of lengthy calculations with elimination method. Yeah. So what's the goal here is, this is the only goal to reduce the number of computational steps. or number of computations for that mean. See, when I say number of computations, what you consider is a number of complex multiplications and number of complex additions. Did you complete DSP? So there you have, right, number of complex multiplications and complex additions. Similarly, also here we have. So we have to control this as, as good as possible. Okay. So shall we start? I think we can directly do this problem. Okay. Theoretical stuff is not required here. Just take one equation, x1 plus, you solve this equation, please. You have x1 plus x2 plus x3, 9, 2x1 minus 3x2 plus 4x3 is 13, and 3x1 plus 4x2 plus 5x3 is equal to 40. We have to solve this. It's very simple. Okay, you can show this system of three equations, three linear equations. How are we saying these are, linear equations here? How are we saying that these three
Constants
are?
are not zero, sir.
Yes, what?
Constant terms are not zero.
Constant terms are?
D's are not equal to zero, sir. A right hand side of the equation.
Over right hand side of the equation, they are not zero. So therefore they are linear. Okay. See, it's of course okay, but thing is that see, I'm not taking something like x1 square, x2 square, or x1 cube, x2 cube, something like that. Yes or not? Directly, I'm taking. See, these are like some polynomial terms. I'm having free stuff. I have x1, x2, x3 everywhere, and nowhere you are squaring it, and nowhere we have exponential terms, and nowhere we have logarithmic terms. Yes or not? And nowhere we have trigonometric terms involved in this. Okay, so they are available in free form, so therefore we say often they are linear equations. All right. Okay, you convert this to ax equal to b form. Okay, then I take its augmented form. That means I take like this, AB. Okay, now what is my AB here? My first column, my first row is all ones 9. Then you have 2 minus 3, 4, 13. Then you have 3, 4, 5, 40. Okay, so I took this and let me segregate. Let us build a wall between coefficient matrix and right hand side column vector. Okay, so AB is this 1119, whatever it is. Now what do? The goal is you have to make this guy 0 and this guy as well as 0. Okay, because you see, you have to convert that A matrix to diagonal matrix. Okay, that means you must have only principal diagonal elements, and remaining off diagonal elements must be 0. YFF off diagonal, they must go 0. So how do you do that? So let me okay, so I'll take my row 2. I must make this element as 0 first of all, right? So what do I do now? Can I say this? You can do row echelon form. You just perform row operations, you will get this. Okay, R2 minus 2R1, and I should also make this element as 0. So R3 minus what? 3R1. That's it. So having done this, now you must get this way. What you must get here? So this must be, yeah, row 1 behaves same, right? Row 1 is this. What about row 2? So this must be 0, and this is what? -5. This is 2, again -5. Agree? 13 minus 18 is -5. And what about row 3? 0. Very good. 1 to 13. Okay. So you have this, and this is the segregation, the augmentation otherwise. Okay. We are augmenting quotient matrix with 9 this. Now you tell me what you do. Now the other goal is what? If I go for second column, now I'll focus on this column. Okay. I want to make it what? This guy must go 0. On top of this -5, I have this 1. So this must become 0. And also this must go 0. Okay. So how do you do that? 5 R. Okay. You have your own form. No problem. However you want to do, you can do. But you should make it 0. There is no unique way of doing. You can do in a response style. You can do. Now, how can I make R1 as, I mean, on top of -5, I have to make that stuff as 0. How can I do that? So can I say, now, I want to modify whom? First row, right? So I'll modify row 1. Because I want to make it 0 anyways. So how do I do that now? R1 is R2 plus, can I say 5R1? Yeah, I can do that. And what about R3? Because I have to make this one 0 as well, right? So what about this?
5R3 plus R2.
Very good. 5R3 plus R2. That's it. The only thing is you have to see two things properly. That's nothing else, okay? So let me slide this left. I'm sliding it off, okay? Now you have an option. Yes. So you must get now, what is the first element here? 5, right? 5, 0, 7, 40. And the second row remains unchanged. 0, -5, 2, -5. And third row must go change. So this is 0, 0. This is 12, 60. Did you get like this? Please correct me if I'm wrong anywhere, okay? So 40, -5, 60. Now you tell me what to do. Now, as the last resort, now I have to make on top of 12, I have 7 and 2 as third column of this augmented matrix. I need to make this stuff and this stuff as 0. So how do I do that? Yes? Very good, excellent. So, okay, see, now for some thinkers like me, for me, I want everything clear, okay? Otherwise, I can't understand things that easily. Now, what is my first goal here? I have to make this guy, this 7 as 0, okay? I want to make this fellow as 0. And I want to make this fellow, who now? This fellow, right? This fellow is also, I want to make 0. Now, what is the only case we have? Yes, can I say, yes, very good. See, now I have this 12 here, right? So I have this 12, so multiply first row by 12. Okay? And I have this 7 here, right? So multiply this third row by 7. See, if you got stuck up like this, whenever you encounter this kind of situation, see, first of all, what you want to make 0. Okay? Then you take alternate choice. So whatever 7 I have here, this I must take in the third row. Whatever 12 I have here, this you take to first row. Okay? Now, so whatever, I will tell you what to do finally. Yes. I take my R2. Can I say R2 is equal to 6 R2 minus R3 first of all? R2 is simple, right? Can I say R2 is equal to 6 R2 minus R3? I can do, right? My ultimate goal is I should make this 2 as 0, not not 12. So I can take R2 is equal to, R2 has 6 R2 minus R3, but you tell me what must be R1. For R1, what I do? 12 R1 minus 7 R3. Yes, sir, not see? This 12, I took it here. And this 7, I brought it here. Okay? So like that, I can chop this guy off. That's it. Okay? So whenever you are in the situation, please do this manipulation. Okay? And that's it. So everybody, are we clear so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is a matter of simplification anyone can do. See, there is no only unique way. You can do in your own style. This is not the only way you can do. Whatever style you have, you can apply that. I'm unable to go left. Why am I unable to slide left? This is the maximum I think I can slide. Okay, now let me reduce this stuff. So I'll make use of white again. So finally, what you have, can you tell me what is the first row here? 60, 0, 0, 60, right? Did you get the same? 0 minus 30, 0 negative 90. Please confirm this. And third row remains unchanged, 0, 0, 12, 60. Did you get the same? And it's useless to convert A matrix to I matrix. If it is a diagonal matrix, it's enough, right? Directly we can find from this. So why am I unable to go left? It's okay. So finally, what you have is you have 60, 0, 0, 0, negative 30, 0, 0, 0, 12. I'm converting this to what? I'm showing this in the form of, in the matrix form. I mean to say that Ax equal to what now? You have 60, negative 90, and 60 again. Okay, so what you get now here? So yeah, 60x1 equal to 60 and minus 30 x2 equal to minus 90 and 12 x3 equal to 60. There's some hassle here. What is this? So x1 must be 1, x2 equal to what? 3 and x3 equal to 5. That's it. Simple, right? See, some textbooks, what they give is you have to convert A matrix to I matrix. If you do so, what is the directly you will get that augmentation as the answer. Okay. Otherwise, once you have this diagonal matrix ready, just convert, just make this in the form like Ax equal to B and get the answer. More than this, we don't require anything else. Okay. So in the laboratory, what we do, we will try to observe computational complexities. This is really important in numerical methods. So we will observe this computational complexities involved with various methods right from the beginning, okay? Gauss elimination and with pivoting, Gauss-Jordan, LU decomposition, all these things we will see in our laboratory. Okay, so did you check this? Is our 135 correct? Did you plug in this in our system? Okay, anyways, 1 plus 3 plus 5, 9. The first equation satisfied, and like that remaining. If you have any questions, please ask me. Are we clear so far?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Any doubts then? No one is asking me doubts yet. I don't know why you're not getting doubts. Any doubts, please? No? Okay. If no doubts, then fine. Shall we stop then? I will never take any time extra after 5, 5:50. Okay, then we are stopping now. Thank you.